know, and I just don't know how you can have sex and not cuss. You can be the bishop of a whole denomination. You having sex and it's good, you gonna cuss. All in this thing called life. We're all trying to figure it out. And social media, the stupid stuff we see on social media makes us think, you gotta have it all together, that everybody has it all together at all times, and they don't. It wasn't until I left Michigan and went to Houston that my eyes were open in such a way that it shocked me. And that's when, the first time I ever heard a pastor cuss in the pulpit was in Houston, at a church I went to. In the first one I was at, and then the second one I was playing drums at. The third one I was playing drums at. They all. What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Fearless Perspective Show. I'm your host, Julia, and as you already know, this is where you come to hear what common sense sounds like and what, just different unfiltered perspectives sound like straight up. So I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you have made your way here. If you're one of my supporters, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? You've been consistent. I appreciate y'all for real, more than you know. And then if you just found your way here, if this is your first episode out of all the others I have, I appreciate you for coming. I would love for you to go back and check out the other episodes and, and just lock in with us. We're just a fearless community of just talking and just trying to get over life experiences, and live fearlessly, one life experience at a time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a life coach. I'm not a therapist. I'm not none of that. You know what I'm saying? I can only tell you about experiences from my life and my perspective from the things that I have learned from those experiences. You know what I'm saying? Because we learn something from every experience, whether we want to or not, or whether we know it or not. We learn something. You should, and it'll teach you something for moving forward in life, and things like that. So, but yeah, everything is good. I'm glad you guys are here. I hope you guys have been taking care of yourselves. I hope you've been living. I hope you've been, enjoying the summer so far. It seems like me and many of us just feel like all we've been doing this summer is just clocking in and clocking out and trying to live for the weekend. I know life has been life, and I ain't gonna lie, because usually I'll be a couple trips in by now, but life has been lifing because I've been going through the whole season of transition, trying to dig out of a hole, trying to, it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? So, but I've been taking care of myself. I have been, taking trying to give myself some grace, some more grace and things like that, and things like and just doing what's best for me. And so but it's life, but I'm glad y'all here, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we just talk about real life ass shit that we go through, and how are we managing? Like, what works for you may not work for me. But anyway, so again, I thank you for tuning in. And as you know, we always got the section of the pour up and pull up on me, because I always want you to pour up and pull up on me whenever you watching this show. If you driving, like if you got water, juice, coffee, tea, whatever, just chill and just kick back with me. Just pour something up. It ain't got to be a cocktail. I got a cocktail. It could be wine. It could be anything. But yeah, just chill back. I know some people be like, I listen to your stuff when I get home from work, or in the evenings, because I know I want to pour up while I'm chilling listening to you, because it just feels like it's a cool vibe in the day, and that's what it is. That's what I just said. Just come have a conversation. We're just having a conversation about life. All right. And I'm a type of person that, like I said, I think I'm pretty not judgmental. I try not to judge people, because I understand that people um do what's best for them, and what seems to be right for them, and that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, because somebody may judge how I may choose to make decisions about my life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I understand that, but listen, I just be like, y'all live your life and enjoy yourselves. And that's what it is. So we're gonna have those kind of conversations of like, hey, this is how I'm managing life. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, in my cup, you already know I always tell you what I got. I just got actually just some orange juice. Nah, it's a little orange juice and tequila sunrise a little bit. Oh, that's good. That's what I felt like today. But yeah, so anyway, but yeah, so he just like I said, we just come here and we just talk, we just shoot the shit. Y'all coming into the den, just have a drink, kick it, whatever it is. And like one of my supporters, she's an avid tea drinker. She drink her tea, watch the show. And I mean like I appreciate that. You just kicking back, and vibing however you vibe. I'm always feeling great. I believe I just I'm at home. I'm cooling. You know what I'm saying? So I'm chilling. I be chilling at the house, and y'all know that. So, but anyway, I appreciate y'all for real. For staying in and being locked in so far and stuff like that, and giving me your support and interacting and things like that. So that means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we just out here. We just like I hope this is reaching somebody. I hope I'm saying something that somebody will remember or be able to look at their situation, their current situation, and be like, you know what? Julia gave us a little different. She said something the other day, and I think this is, this apply to this. Yeah, like for real. Like I'm not saying I have it all because I don't. Because some days I'll be like, what the hell? For real? What we doing? And we all just figuring it out because that's what it is. We're all in this thing called life. We're all trying to figure it out. And social media, the stupid stuff we see on social media makes us think, you gotta have it all together. That everybody has it all together at all times, and they don't. They don't. And once you realize that, you'll start being like, man, whatever. I'm doing what's best for me in my house because that ain't my life. This is my life. This is my real. This is what I deal with. This is what I need and things like that. So it's just, yeah, man. I'm big on it. Like, yo, stop comparing anything. Don't compare anything on social media to what, just don't. Cause a lot of these people behind these posts, like I said, people only post what they want you to see. A lot of this stuff behind it's not what you think, or you may not know. You may think somebody got it easy because you're only seeing what they're posting, and you may not know what it took for them to get there. You may not be ready for that type of journey. You may not, you know what I'm saying? So don't envy nothing you see. Like use it as inspiration. That's what it should be. That's what they have influencers. Use it for inspiration and let it influence something in you to say, hey, you know what? I want to grind different. Or I may want to go this route. Or, yeah. I'm serious. Like for real. You once you start realizing like, yo, I'm me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that's why I be like, y'all be laughing when I was talking about the close friends thing. Like I took some people out because I'm like, yo, I'm enjoying my life how I want to enjoy my life. And then you're here on social media, and you're judging, or you always got something to say about something. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you out. You know what I'm saying? Because like, why would you want to live your life so strict and so? Yes, we are all like, especially if you're in the church, we are all to be Christ-like. We are all human as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making justification for certain behavior and activities, but I'm just like we're human. You know what I'm saying? And like my friend has said before, if you always talking to God, or God only talking to you all the time, you should be concerned. Like like you should be a little scared a little bit. Like no, like get out and live, get out and enjoy yourself. I'm not saying you know your limits. That's what I say. You know your limits. You know what you can do. You know what you can't do. Know your limits, but also know that you live in this world, y'all. Like y'all be too much for me. That's why I be so turned off from a lot of church things because I'm just tired of it. Because I'm like I've seen the fakeness. I've lived the fakeness. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm able to see it and relate to it and just be like, I'm straight on that. Mm-mm. I'll go to church. I don't need to know a lot of people. Yes, it's good to know people. And I know I just talked about friends and stuff. It's good to know people, and it is. You do, and like I said, I do want to know people. I do want new friends, but you just like, yo, I don't want the fakeness. You can talk to me. I'm a real ass person. You know what I'm saying? I'm a cool person. I'm an understanding person. Hell, shit. If you tell me, you know what I'm saying, we talking and you want to curse, okay. You're human. You want to say, hey, girl, let's go hang out and let's go, do happy hour a little bit. Okay, but I'm not gonna look at you and be like, oh, you don't love God, or God don't love you. Nah, they're human. We were just taught, and I get the whole holiness is right thing. I do. I get it. Trust me. I do. I was born and raised Church of God in Christ. I get it. Yes. But at the same time, it wasn't until, let me tell you this, and I wasn't even going to talk about this today. Um, it wasn't until I left Michigan. I think I talked about this last season. Until I left Michigan, where I moved to Houston, because I grew up, like I said, I grew up Church of God in Christ. I was a drummer. I was, heavily involved in my church. We were, cutting edge because, that's what they called it because I could wear pants, you know what I'm saying, in my church. Jurisdictional stuff, I got looked up and down, but I'm like, I'm not about to sit and play. That's foolishness. I'm not about to sit and play drums in a skirt with a whole sheet over my legs. And that's constricting me and restricting me from actually being able to really play because I could really play. You know what I'm saying? That was foolishness. So I would get looked up and down and all that other stuff. But anyway, so it wasn't until I left Michigan and went to Houston that my eyes were open in such a way that it shocked me because I was like, yo, these people at this church, I see a lot of prominent, like predominantly gay men at the church, and they're still being used, you know, in different capacities outside of just the choir director. But they were used in different capacities, and I still see other people that I know was just out clubbing and drinking and smoking and doing whatever, cursing and all that other stuff last night, and they like, wait, what? Like, and you're I had a lot of questions because when I came up, you couldn't really do nothing. Like, so I was really like locked in when I lived in Michigan. And I mean, I did what I did, but it was always low key. Nobody knew what I did. It was that low key. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I don't want to, be sat down, can't play drums no more or whatever, because I am human. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, but then I go to Houston and these people, I'm talking about people I work with that tell me they go to church. And I was like, yo, everybody down here go to church. That's dope. Wow, this is good. But then the next sentence, they cussing you out, or not cussing you out, but they cursing and and you be like, I was like, huh? Because of, like I said, I grew up Church of God in Christ, and they was like, you don't do that. But they didn't talk about like what do you do, like if you want to, or if you know what I'm saying? Because I've always liked cussing. I have always liked cussing. When I was kids, you be kids in the neighborhood, you be cussing. Oh we, I used to like cussing in school, playing, especially playing basketball. I don't understand how people play basketball or don't play or play any sports and don't cuss. You gon' cuss. You go. Oh we, you gon' cuss. Oh we, you playing sports. Man, I played basketball, so I was like, I think I'm granted cussing during basketball season. No, but I cuss all the time in school. but again, it was just like, oh, and even then I used to be like, I shouldn't be cussing because that means I'm not saved. And that's what we were pretty much taught, you know what I'm saying? But child, once I left Michigan and got around them people, I was like, oh, wow. And they were still saved. They were still nothing. They still had a great relationship with the Lord. They still kept, they were, man, they didn't play, but they were human. And that opened my eyes. And so I was like, wow, okay. But it wasn't not just dove into it. It's like it was shit. Like, I was just like, wow, I still had, my own personal convictions about it. And then after a while, I was just like, okay, something has slipped out. I was working out or something. I don't know, but I was just like, oh shit, it is what it is. But I mean, there's pastor, and that's when, yeah, the first time I ever heard a pastor cuss in the pulpit was in Houston, at a church I went to. In the first one I was at, and then the second one I was playing drums at. The third one I was playing drums at. Like, they all, or they cuss you out in the office. They ain't cuss me out. I ain't never get cussed out. But it's just, in conversation, I had one pastor tell me and the musicians at one of the churches I worked at. He was like, I understand you guys are musicians, full-time musicians. Outside of this, you guys have gigs. I have no problem with you gigging. Just make sure you don't, it don't interfere with your responsibilities here. You know what I'm saying? And your job, because a check was involved. So yeah, so he was like, so just just he said, I don't care what you do outside of here, however you live your life, just don't bring that shit here. That's what he said. I said, we all right. That church was good to me. That church was so good to me. I did. I enjoyed them. They couldn't sing. That church was good to me, baby. Oh my God. It was a good time. And it was so cool, But I've never been one to bring any of my personal life to any job, whether it was church or, a regular 9 to 5 job. Never. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do drama. I don't do none of that. So that wasn't an issue. Shit. It was the women in the church that was, trying to talk to me. Hey, sister drummer. She won't. But it was cool. I never got into any issues of any churches. Yeah, yeah. I never did. I never got into to any issues. No, I've never gotten into any issues at any churches I've played at with any of the women there, because I didn't really go. I didn't go to those churches looking to date anybody there. I'm going there to get, do what I'm supposed to do. I get paid to do this. This is an assignment for me. You're not going to come between that. And a lot of other musicians didn't understand that. A lot of my homeboys, they going through and they screwing the women that's there, and I'm just like, yo, dude, just go look, go work there. That's it. And go home. But yeah, I don't even know why I'm talking about that stuff. But anyway, well, I'm just saying about being human. And and so like I said, in Houston, when I was like, wow, so now I'm just like, okay, my relationship is my relationship with God. Am I perfect? No. I don't even try to be perfect. I'm not. I tell anybody, especially anybody I date, I'm like, I'm not perfect and I don't try to be perfect. Only thing I try to do is get it right. And that stands for everything. I just try to get it right. Just try to get life right. I try to get it right with you. I try to get it right with God. I try. That's the only thing I can do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not. No, I'm human. I am human, and so I'm like, I don't understand how you can play sports and not cuss. What? What? Man, come on. There's no. I don't understand how you can play a sport and not cuss. I don't. There are certain things I don't understand how anybody can do and not cuss, and that's play sports. Um, do I want to say lift weights? Depends on you lifting weights. Like if you are just going out and you pushing everything, you might slide in a S. I slide in the S word here and there at the end, or it'd be like bitch. So I'll add that in there. What's another thing that I'm like, how do you do this and not swear? Drive drive in any city where there's traffic. I don't understand how can y'all not drive and not cuss. I'll be trying to listen to gospel music and be cussing. Oh gosh, and I'll be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. So yeah, driving. Sex. I don't understand how you can have sex and not cuss. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know. And I just don't know how you can have sex and not cuss. You can be the bishop of a whole denomination. You having sex and it's good, you gonna cuss. You are going to cuss. So yeah. So sports, playing sports. Cause even playing sports, you know what I'm saying? Like you talking smack. First of all, you talking shit. And then when you just like I know me when I used to play ball and I used to yank up a rebound and yank on somebody, like yank that rebound on somebody that's bigger than me, or you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, get that shit out of here. Or you block a shot, you telling somebody get that shit out of here. You not. I don't know. I have a friend on Facebook. He be posting all the time about how he just really wish he could just stand up and cuss people. I'm like, why can't you? But because we grew up in a church, man. And I'm quick to get in people. Look, I am so quick to get in people's inbox and tell them, man, fuck them people. Like you gonna have, and it took me a while to get to that place. We're like, no, fuck these people. If you gotta tell them what you need to feel better, and it involves cussing, tell them that shit and tell them exactly how you feel, how it's coming out. Bitch, you got me fucked up. You fucked some shit up for me as a child, in the church when how you handle shit. If it come out like that, it come out like that. That's why I'm like, I don't think I think a lot of people don't want to talk to me because they already know how it's not gonna be no well, Pastor. No, nigga, you fucked up. And that's just real. Like that's why I tell like people, you gotta be human. If it come out, it come out. And I be like, I be telling my friend all the time, like, man, say what you need to say, dog. What they gonna do? They don't like you any fucking way. So tell them like shit. What's it's not gonna change. It's not gonna change their view on you. Like for real. Hear me. Hear me. Y'all worried about what somebody gonna say about what you do or how you respond or how you react. They don't care. They don't like you no damn way. If they got you to that point, baby, they don't care about you. Fuck them. And if you want to tell them how you feel, tell them exactly how you feel until you feel better. Like somebody once said, and you said, I cussed her out until I felt better. Yes. If that's what you gotta do, shit. Listen, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying go on a cussing spree. But if that's what you need, get what you need till you feel better. Damn, like I be I don't usually do a lot of cussing, on the show. I try to keep it cool because I know I have a different lip, but I'm like I'm being me. I'm always gonna be me. I can't tell y'all to be you, and then I'm turning around. I'm in here like I gotta keep it cool. Fuck that. If you don't want to listen, then okay, I get it. I get it. But also, I'm like, nah, bro. But I get off of that. Anyway, y'all. So look, check this out. So what I was gonna talk about. I wasn't even gonna talk about none of that shit. Um, but yo, so I went and got a haircut right yesterday. I needed a haircut. It had been 3 weeks, and I push it to 3 weeks because I be like, okay, I don't go nowhere like that. I'm in the house. I work from home. Only place I go to is like the gym, the store, whatever. And I like hats. I can wear hats. I can need a whole ass haircut and be getting and somebody need me to go somewhere, and as long as I can wear a hat, I'm good. I can still put an outfit on, put on a hat, and still look good and go. But I need a haircut. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I went. Excuse me. Since I've been in the city, I'm really trying to find a barber that I'm like I love. Just to, they're consistent. So I went back to this one guy I tried last month, and I liked it. I liked his hair, but I was like, okay, well, let me tell him just to fade it up a little higher because a lot of times, and I get it, it's safer, and I appreciate it when people first cut my hair. I be like, I show them a picture, taper it, and this, but they start too low. I'm like, nah, fade it up, and then do your blend, and then whatever. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I like it faded up a little higher. And told him how I like my edge up and and what to do and stuff like that. He was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. So you like it bald? Like I said, yeah, so bald on the bottom, because that's how I like my fade. I like it to be a fade, dark, medium, light, and then bald. Like that's how I like it. So he was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, 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 bald, he started cutting my hair. Now, mind you, I hadn't had a haircut in 3 weeks, so I was looking. My hair was thick, and I have wavy hair, as you see. I have wavy hair, so it wasn't looking bad, but it's just thick. And I'm like, if I knew, like I said, if I knew how to edge up my hair, it wouldn't be bad. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how my edge up be like gone. So I'm like, I'm ready for a haircut. Oh my God, I need a haircut. It's grooming weekend. Let's get it done. So he starts and putting his guidelines, and it's high as hell. And I was like, I couldn't say nothing because he had already started. Like shit. All right. Okay. I was almost pissed off in the chair because I was like, this is since I've been in the city. I mean, I can't. I mean, like my boy cut my hair last time, and he does a good job. He's just heavy handed, and I was just like, damn, man, like I'm not gonna like this haircut. So, well, be back to wearing hats. It's cool. Got done with the process, everything, and then he did the edge up, and the whole edge up just changed it. I was like, oh, so yeah, so he did something different. My God, y'all know I usually have a blend, and my waves are more, are a little lower and stuff like that. So, but it's different. I like it. I said I was laughing because I was like, I look like a young handsome boy. Like I was telling my brother, like, I was like, I look like you when you, because that's how his hair used to be cut. Back in the '90s, that's how they did. They cut their hair like this, and I know they still wear their hair like this, but I've never worn my hair like this. But I kind of like it. I think I think it's cute. I think it's cute. I like it. So that's what's going on with haircut, and I'm like, damn, I am like pretty much bald on the sides, and like my head is not tanned because I always have hair, but I like it. I rock with it. It's summertime, but my hair be cold at the house. So, but I think me and him, we can rock out because I really like him. He does a good job. And like I said, he washes my hair, and oh my God, it's just I be needing that. And so yeah, and so he maintains the wave pattern of my hair even with a wash. You know what I'm saying? Sits me under the dryer and stuff like that. It's a good experience. I really like it. And but I think once we and then I did tell him though after the cut, I was like, this is different. I said, I've never done this. He was like, no, I thought you said, and I told him, I said next time we can bring it down a little bit, and so I think we'll get it because I really like the way he cuts my hair. I think we'll get it. I've only met one person lately that's gotten my cut right the first time, and that was my boy Brandon. But like I said, he's in Conyers. Um, and I'm not going out there, but I am. I ain't gonna lie. One day I am gonna go out there to go see him. But I'm gonna make it a day. I'm probably gonna hit up my other boy Brandon and kick it. You know what I'm saying, or something like that. Um, because I don't know nobody else out in Conyers, and like the other person I knew out there, um, she don't like to get out the house, and I would love to hang out with her, but she don't like to get out the house, and so I wouldn't even call her. So like, hey yo, I'm in this, nah. So and like speaking of that, like okay, so this is what I was gonna talk about. So like okay, with dating, y'all. Okay, so as y'all know, I'm single, right? And when it comes down to dating, like I'm not. I saw something. I'll start with this. I saw something on Facebook. One of my friends posted on Facebook. He said it was this week. He was like, "Okay, so how do y'all make friends? How do adults make friends, right?" And he said, "And also, how are single adults dating these days? Like after a certain age, like we're not talking about 30 and under or 35 and under. We're talking about 35 and up because he's closer to my age." And I was just like, dang. That's a good question. Like, okay, yeah, how do friends make friends? I think we make friends, like I said, last episode was I think it's just a thing of, hey, y'all exchange numbers, y'all meet out. Like usually I'll meet new people at a gathering that I went to with someone else or that I was invited to, or you know what I'm saying? I always end up, just hey, whether we exchange Instagram or we exchange numbers and just being cool. But then I don't usually reach out afterwards. So what I discovered last episode on air um was what you would do is just like maybe just hit somebody up, maybe in the middle of the week. Hey girl, how's your week been? I hope your week been kind. That's just me. I hope your week, has been good to you, and things like that. What you got going for the weekend or something like that, or can't wait for that's how you break the ice. Or if it be like a situation like, hey girl, I saw this on Instagram, this event or this restaurant. You want to go check it out with me? That's how you build like some friendship stuff, but you got to be able to it's just like dating. I look at it, it's just like dating. You got to be able to be vulnerable enough even with somebody you don't know, that you're not trying to get to know on a romantic level. Even on just on a platonic level, you still have to put in some intention. You still have to put something in, because I will say this, um the way our lives are, the way we live our lives, we work every damn day. Yeah, our parents did too, but they still found time to do whatever they wanted to do. To whether it was hang out with they friends, have kickbacks and stuff like that. I grew up, my dad had kickbacks in the basement on the weekends where him and his buddies came, you know what I'm saying? And they was in the drinking, and enjoying themselves back then. Yes, I need a kickback, honey, please. I need a good basement kickback. Yes. But, they still found whatever they, time to do with their friends. However, my dad, it was mostly his coworkers, because they all worked at the plant, worked at GM and stuff. So, it was, his buddies and stuff, and they built that relationship, and they were friends forever. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm like, now, like, that's what you do. You still got to be intentional with people that, but the thing is that you just got to make sure your intentions are just that, like, hey, we just being cool. If it moves into something else, then cool. Y'all cross that bridge when it come. But we shouldn't always think about when we're meeting someone like me. If I'm I'm more masculine presenting and I meet a femme. Um, and she, and we just vibe. Like if we had a place out and we vibe, or a straight woman or whatever, and we vibe, and they ask, hey, let's exchange numbers. I'm not looking at it like, oh, she trying to talk to me, because that wasn't the energy. First of all, that wasn't the energy that she was giving me when we were talking. And you know what I'm saying? Before she asked me for my number. So of course I'm like, oh yeah, she cool. Yeah, you got my number. Yeah. Cause I'm like, yo, let's just be cool. I'm cool. That was the energy she gave. And that was the energy I gave. So I think, and then you just go from there. Like, hey, what's going on? Whatever. You just it can be a straight woman with kids, a husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna reach. First of all, she probably not gonna have my number. But I'm saying, like, if it's a straight woman and she got kids, like, let's just say that, I still like, hey, yeah, you can have my number. That's cool. I be telling my homegirls, like, straight women, I be like, yo, take my number down. You be doing this such man. Call me. I'll go with you, because they be like, I ain't had nobody go. I'll go with you, just on some cool shit. It ain't even on no. Hey, I go with you. I know you be scared. No, yo, I'll go with you for real. Here, you can be a whole film straight woman, whatever. And if we cool, we cool. So, but you do have to be intentional with those friendships, or not even with those friendships, but with just those connections and stuff like that. And then, like you said, when he was talking about, how do you date, and that's hard because too, I be in the house, I be at the crib, and I'm like, I'm not, I'm not like ready to date, like I'm not like, but I'm like, but whenever I am ready to like be like, okay, what am I do? Like, I mean, I get, that you meet people on apps. I'll say that. That's how you meet people. Whether it's dating apps. I'm not doing no more dating apps. Uh-uh. I'm not. Hmm. I can't even imagine what they're like right now. I haven't even gotten back on a dating app. You know what I'm saying? You can meet people through Instagram. You meet people through TikTok. I've met people through TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember there was one lady I met on TikTok. I talked about this earlier this year on my Instagram stories. She was cool. She was from Chicago. She was cool. She was beautiful. Like, she was gorgeous. And I was like, okay. And it was this thing. Like I said, I like TikTok because, they tell you who's been looking at your page. And so she was always, she was coming to my page kind of often. And I wasn't even posting nothing like that. But you was coming there. So I was like, all right. So we started talking. We talked for like that week. Um, yeah, this was earlier this year. We talked for that week. Um, and she wanted to. No, we talked. I think for 2 weeks. I can't remember. It was very short, but she wanted to get to talk on the phone. And I was like, nah, I wasn't trying to talk on the phone to nobody. And then one night, yeah, because my hands were hurting. This was at the top of the year when I started having issues. My hands were hurting so bad. It was a Friday night, I remember, and I wasn't feeling good. And I was like, all right. Well, yeah, she was like, "Can I call you?" I was like, "Yeah, you can call me," because we were having a conversation. We both grew up in church. So we were having a really good conversation that I really didn't and couldn't really text and type like I really wanted to. So I was like, damn. So that's why I was like, yeah, you can just call me, because I was like, I can just talk. And so we on the phone. I wasn't feeling good. I was really tired. I was hurting. And I ended up dozing off on her later on in our conversation. I've never fallen asleep on anybody that I've been on the phone with. Never. Like, people fall asleep on, women fall asleep on the phone, whatever. I have never fallen asleep on her. So I was like, oh my God. And she was like, oh my goodness. Because that's how I woke up. Because she was like, oh my goodness, you sleep. So anyway, woke up. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was apologetic and everything. And so she was like, you know what, go ahead and, you go get some sleep, And I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry, whatever. Cause it was kind of late too. And I was like, all right. And I got the phone. I was like, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I was gonna hit her up the next day. Like, we were gonna talk. But I didn't, like I said, because I knew what what my I just knew I wasn't trying to give it any intention or anything of course, right away. So I wasn't trying to reach out to her in the morning. Good morning. I didn't do that. I wasn't, I went about my day. And then I tried to reach out to her later in the day and I was blocked. I was like, what did I do? Like, I was like, it gotta be. I'm saying, I don't know. I could be wrong. But I was like, did she block me because I fell asleep on her? After we have already talked, in our conversation, whatever. But yeah, I don't know why she blocked me, but it was. I don't care because I'm like things happen for a reason. Hey, I thank you. I dodged a bullet because earlier in the conversation, I didn't like the conversation really, so I was like, thank you, girl, please. Um, but yeah, and then I met someone else and I we chop it up. She's cool. She's really cool. But yeah, like that's why I'm like, yo, you just dating, like, you gotta leave the house. I know they be like, you gotta leave the house. I be at home. I do like getting out, but I be like, I need to be at home for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Or I work from home, so I don't go nowhere. Like I look like a bum every day. I put on clothes to go to the gym, put gym clothes, whatever. And then I'm back at the house. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang. Or then like if my homegirl or one of my friends call and be like, yo, let's go to this. Then I'm like, all right, I can put some clothes on, go do something, but I be at home. So I'm like, how do you date? Like I said, you can use apps, not just dating apps, but you can, people meet all the time on and link up on Instagram all the time. Ladies, we got, I don't know what our apps are, but I know men, I got, gay men, they got jacked and all those other things, grinder and all that other stuff. And then they got everybody got, was it Bumble, Tinder, all of that stuff. There's so many apps, but it's just like, I don't know. I just don't be. I guess because I'm just not trying to. I'm not trying to. Like, I don't know. I've always preferred meeting people just organically, like out and about. But I mean, things are different. I don't judge anybody who meet because I met my ex on the app, and that's why I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't do apps before that. Somebody talked me into getting on them. And I met some interesting people on the apps since I had moved to Atlanta. And that's I was like, I'm straight on apps. Like, and I know it's crazy everywhere. And I didn't have nothing crazy. It was just unnecessary ass shit that I ended up dealing with so many of them. And I'm like, I could have avoided this. Like, golly. But it taught me a lot, about what I like and don't like. And yeah, it would cause me to check myself, like, as far as, where I was, like, why do I keep attracting a certain type of woman and things like that. And yeah, it made me do a lot of introspective looks, and even with my last situation, yeah, I did a lot of looking inside and realizing where I was a downfall, where my downfalls were, or things, and then vice versa, where hers were, and why we didn't work. And I've been good with it, been good with it. But you just live and you learn. You know what I'm saying, and what you want and don't want. I'm big on that. Y'all know that. If you need refreshers, go to Pat last season. I promise you. I tell you, like I talk a lot. Like, yo, we're not doing this. But yeah, so it's just like, so dating, I know it's hard because there's a lot of us that we, like I said, we work all day. And even though I work from home, I still don't be like, I be cool. I'm like, I'm off work, child. I'm about to go sit on this couch or whatever. If I'm not going to the gym, I'm sitting on the couch and chilling. You know what I'm saying? So we're tired. We don't be wanting to go nowhere. And then everywhere we go, they charge you for parking. It's traffic. First you gotta deal with the traffic, then you gotta deal with paying for parking or the horrible parking, the crowds because you don't feel like it. The same DJ, the DJ's playing the same music, same type of stuff. It's just I be like, I can do this at the house on my level, like on my type of tip. Like, yeah, you can smoke in here, not in here, but you can smoke here. Mhm. Yeah, you need a refill of your drink. Oh yeah, we good. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't charging you. Like, it's cool, but it's just like, yeah, I do like going out though for an experience to get out of the house. I do. I am a social person, but I also like to be to myself as well. So it's like it's a balance, and I enjoy it. But yeah, I be like, yo, dating, like, how is that gonna work? But I always have said, I was like, you know what? I don't think the person that I'm going to be with is from here. Is from Atlanta. I've always said that. I don't think she's from Atlanta. Um, I don't know. I always said maybe I'll meet her. I don't know. I don't know how I'll meet her. But when I'm really ready to be serious, like ready, like, because I know I'm not ready for a committed relationship or anything. And it's not, like I said, because I have commitment issues. It's just me personally. I know that um I'm really trying to, like my friend asked me yesterday. Um she asked me where was I or something, and I said, to be honest with you, no, she said, do I need more time to figure out like what I want or where I said, you know what, honestly, I don't know where I'm at. I feel like I'm like kind of dangling, just like suspended in midair. I don't know where I am. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, you know what, because I'm not gonna try to hurt anybody, or anything like that. I don't want to do that. So I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with not dating, like, or intentionally dating somebody. Yes, I may be attracted to somebody, and of course they may be attracted to me once they get to know me. They're attracted to that, and I get that because I can only be me, and I'm a pretty dope ass person. I'm just gonna be straight up. But I'm vice versa. I may like her, but at the same time, like, damn, yeah, like I can't. So I don't know. So that's why I'm like, I'm not, I know I'm not ready for anything serious or committed. Or we can have a good time, we can have fun, um, and have an understanding, but I can't right now because for me, like I said, you would hear me say, like, it's a distraction right now. I gotta focus on. I'm trying to go through a whole transition, whatever this transition is. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta figure that out. So, you know, but I'm always open to friends. You know what I'm saying? And people to be good to me. That's pretty much what my focus is. I just want people around me that are good to me and good for me. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So, however that may look, whether it's a friend, whether it's, somebody where we may have attraction to one another, but yeah, but you're good to me, you're good for me, vice versa. But we both know we got an understanding. Or it could be somebody, like, hey, you know, she's good for me, she's good to me. And I really like I don't know, but I'm not trying to get I'm definitely not there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just feel like I'm just really like just kind of dangling, and that's why I'm just like I'm cool with where I'm at and how things are going because I got to focus on me. I got to focus on my visions, my goals, my dreams, my ambitions, all of that, my spirit, my mental, my emotional. I got to focus on all of that, financial, all of that stuff. So it's just like, those are all the things. And I know that somebody can come along the way and and be of a good help and a good aid to helping that. Not saying they come fix it because I'm not looking for that. I'm not. But somebody that can help me to think differently, You know what I'm saying? Or just to say, hey, look, you need to fix this. You need to do X, Y, and Z. This is what I need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want my friends to, like, my friends are able to be my friends, and I give them permission. Like, hey, tell me what I need to do. Tell me what I need to hear. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to talk to me. Like, pull my coattail, tap me on my shoulder. Like, hey, bitch, you need to do this. You ain't handle that right. That's what I'm looking for. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, when she asked me that, I was like, damn, like I don't know, type of thing. But you got to be sure within yourself. You got to be honest within yourself because there are too many people out there who are dating people just for the sake of dating. They don't even like them. And they know that they don't like them, and they know they don't even want to be with them like that, like long term. Like, but one, of course, may fall in love and be in love, and the other one just kind of like, ah, yeah. Like, I hate when I see that type of thing because I'm like, yo, you could have left them alone. Now you really hurt and damaged this person, and you could have left them alone. But you, in your selfish ass ways, wanted to just date somebody because you're afraid of being alone. That's why you get people from jumping from relationship to relationship. I don't care what nobody say. Like, I heal quickly. Okay. If you're really healing, because a lot of people, they just do it. They just child. That's another story for another day. You just jump from relationship to relationship. You don't give yourself no time to heal the known issues in your life. Then you get with somebody else, and then it's just like, oh, okay. Then that's gonna run its course, and then you just it's a damn cycle. Then, and that's what I don't want. I don't have time for cycles. I want to learn my lesson the first time because I don't want to retake a test and then go about my business. So that's why I'm like, yo, let me heal. Let me really, because I'm still learning as situations come up in certain, like, in how I respond to them. Like, oh, okay, maybe you still need to, Julie, you still need to heal. You still need to work on that. Or you need to really assess that. Like, okay. But that's just me. Everybody ain't like that. That's why I'm not in a rush to date because I know everybody ain't like me. And met somebody who still got some real shit that they need to really heal. And listen, it's accessible. Help is accessible, whether you get a therapist or a counselor, whatever, or not. It makes no sense for you to not be well. And that's what I would end this on. But anyway, y'all, I'm glad y'all tuned in. I know this show is like all over. I was really wanting to talk about, last topics I was talking about, but it's all good. But I love y'all and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And as always, you know what I'm saying? I really want y'all to lock in with us, become a part of the community and the village, because that's what we are. That's what I'm really wanting to build, is just a community of people that really want the best out of life, that really are like, okay, you know what? I'm tired of the same old stuff. I just want something different in life. And I want to be able to think differently and to hear a different perspective. One that, shit, she say the shit that we think but won't say. She gonna say it. Yeah, Julia said da 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 da. You can tell him I said it. You can tell him I said it. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. But yeah, just make sure y'all keep tuning in. I appreciate y'all for y'all support. I appreciate y'all for locking in and tuning in and being a part, commenting. And those of you who are sharing it, I appreciate you. If you are not sharing it, just share it. Share the link on your what's the thing? Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram and follow this page at the Fearless Perspective Show on Instagram, because that's where I post the reels. Y'all can just post that. Just reshare it on your story or just post it to your reel or whatever. However you want to do, just share it and then just you copy and paste the link. I know it's a lot, like just copy and paste the link from the page, or just tell them, yo, watch the reel and subscribe. Whatever you gonna tell them, just share it. It's I appreciate it because look, we trying to grow this thing because I really think we got something good going. We're just trying to grow this thing and we're just trying to make an impact somewhere out there in the world with somebody, with a group of people who are really tired of the bullshit that we see all the time on social media and in the news and stuff. Because the world, as we know, it's some bullshit going on. I ain't gonna hold y'all. It is, but we here and we gonna talk about life, and we gonna talk about how we can manage, how we can get through some shit. Cause it ain't always gonna be about my life. I'm gonna have to come talk to y'all about some real ass shit. That's why I tell people, watch your local news. Be aware of what's going on in your local city. I'm not telling you to watch CNN or no big major news thing. I'm telling you to watch your local news where you live. I know y'all probably got 5 local news channels. Pick one that you like. I like ABC 2 here in Atlanta, Georgia. Now I watch them. I like them. So that's what I watch. You know what I'm saying? So, I listen to that. I work from home. What I need to know what the weather and the traffic looking like for? I don't. I do need to know what the weather looking like, but I also like to know what's going on in the city. What's been going on? What are we looking like? What we coming up on? You know what I'm saying? That's it. It ain't propaganda. It's being aware of where the hell you live. Golly. Just be aware. I know how I feel about unaware adults, but yeah, just get on Instagram at the Fearless Perspective Show page, and that's where you can like, share, and comment. Get involved. I respond. Come on, guys, y'all know that I respond. So yeah, let's have a good time and let's lock in and be a community. All right, y'all, because we really do need each other, and I don't care what social media try to make you feel like. We need each other. We do. We do. And I care. I care about you. I do. So if you need to get a hold of me, hit me up on my social. You can follow and DM me at my personal page at j.smith517 on Instagram. All right. Y'all can hit me there, or you can go to TikTok. I don't really post much TikTok. I'm trying to do better. But that's at j.jay38. I think. Yeah, 38. Yo. j.jay38. But yeah, so y'all can follow me, whatever. Y'all can reach me wherever. And then if you got something you want us to talk about, want me to talk about, I'm gonna talk about it. Let me know though, because I'm always looking for topics, y'all. Today I was like, what am I gonna talk about? That's probably why I was all over the place. But yeah, I want y'all tell me what y'all want me to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Or your perspective on it. That's what I think I might start to tell me your perspective on it. We can talk about it. Yeah. But anyway, y'all make sure y'all take care of yourself. Y'all love on somebody when you see somebody out in public, smile, nod, whatever, if they look like they're nice or whatever. But just be kind to people because you don't know what people are dealing with. So just be kind. You don't know what people are dealing with. All right? Be kind. If you can't be kind, be quiet. Okay? But I love y'all. Take care of yourself. Love on y'all. And love on yourselves. And love on other people. All right, y'all. Much love to y'all. Peace.